Hey guys, AnchorBeast here bringing you some war gameplay on the map. Is this Outskirts using the Type 100 here suppressed. I cut out the first 2 minutes of this game because they were rather boring. I ran around a little bit with Mosin Nagant and the M1 Uran, and it just lengthened the game a little bit, so I want to trim it down to a more commentatable level. So right here I'm using the Type 100, excuse me, with the suppressor and Bomb Squad, Juggernaut, and Steady Aim. And this is one hell of a war match. I joined the game a little bit late, about 30 seconds into the game or whatnot, and they were already capturing the flag, so I decided to do my best to try and protect our second flag while my teammates captured it. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. But we do make an epic comeback. I mean, they take the flag right here, and I'm like, okay, my teammates don't know how to cap a freaking flag, so let's go back here and see what we can do on them. I actually expected to die down here, but Juggernaut saved my life. I know a lot of people never really cared for Juggernaut, especially the sniping people, but to be perfectly honest, I saw no problems with it. I mean, it was completely balanced with stopping power and double tap, when you look at the numbers. And so I decided to come down here and just capture the flag because I feel like that's what my team needs. They called in artillery, so I got out of the way because I didn't know exactly where they're going to drop the artillery. There's no point in dying 5 times in artillery trying to cap a flag. It just makes our team get hurt more. Every time you die, you make your team you hurt your team just a little bit more, and dying is something you should always avoid when playing a war game mode. Now, a lot of you guys might not have actually played this game, so I'm going to explain what war is for those of you who haven't played. War is a mix between team deathmatch and domination, in my opinion. It's maybe headquarters is a better way to explain it, but basically how it works is every time you get a kill, little bar in the bottom left there, you see all the soldiers, that builds up. And once you get that filled all the way up the first time, you can capture the flags twice as fast. And so that means that the people who like to kill whore can have a part in the team. It's not like in domination where you can win with absolutely 0 kills. It's very, very difficult to win a war game if you're constantly dying and you're giving the other team momentum. Now, when it fills up a second time, as it's doing right here, you get Blitzkrieg and you capture the flags a whopping 3 times faster. So when you have this, you can basically capture the flags in about the same time as a down flag. So it gives a point for the objective players too, because every time you capture the flag, it reduces the other team's momentum to none. So objective players and the slayers can have a really big part in this game. I think I played a good mix of both in this game because my team was horrible in this game. I think if I single-handedly brought this game back. I mean, you can judge for yourself when you see the final score of the game. But yeah, the enemy team has dogs right now. We're just getting dominated at this point. They almost cap our flag the second time, and I'm lucky here that I didn't die. Juggernaut saves my life again, and that's what I like about Juggernaut. In this game, this gun, the Type 100, excuse me, is basically the AK-74U on drugs, in my opinion, because it has a little bit less recoil than AK-74U and a faster reload. But it's completely balanced in this game because there's stopping power in Juggernaut, as well as double tap to cancel it all out. And, of course, you got the whole overpowered MP40 deal. I like running this with the aperture sight and the suppressor, mainly because the iron sights are a little bit, not exactly misaligned, but they're difficult to look through. They're aligned on the left of the barrel as opposed to on top of the barrel like you usually see. But, you know, there isn't too much you can do about that other than putting an aperture or a telescopic sight on there, which I don't ever use a telescopic sight. It's basically the ACOG, but it's horrible. But anyways, I come up here and I kill these 2 guys sitting on their butts with second chance, and you know that's what's fun about a game. When you sneak up on the snipers and they just are completely oblivious, just trying to kill people, you can destroy them. My team is starting to lose the flag again, so I decided I have to run down there and capture it again because there isn't too much else I could have done, and I unfortunately get shot in the back right here if I remember correctly. Now, when using a submachine gun in this game, I definitely recommend the perk Steady Aim. Extreme Conditioning is nice, but I'd honestly recommend that for your Rifleman class because the rifles aren't as effective in close quarters already. If you get to those defensive positions a little bit faster with Extreme Conditioning, it's a lot more worthwhile. Now, in war, one of the things you really want to do is be able to slay while you're on the flag. If you notice right here, I'm constantly moving and I'm staying to that side of the flag. Unfortunately, there I get snuck up on by a couple guys. But if you stay in a place where you have cover around the flag, as well as being capturing the flag, you can pretty much capture it a lot more effectively because unlike a domination, which takes 5 seconds to capture a flag, it can take up to 15 to 20 seconds to capture a flag when you're on your own, even with Blitzkrieg on. So it's important that you stay in a position where you can capture the flag as well as defend it at the same time, because if you die while you're on a flag, you're not helping your team at all. It doesn't matter how close you were to capturing it. If you die and there's no one else by the flag, you're going to lose the flag. It's just how this game works. And it's a very back and forth game mode, as you can see. We're making a very, very good push here for the for the win, and that's what I love about War. Even when you're down to your last flag, there's still that tiny chance that you can bring it all back from the grave and win the game. And that's how all game modes should be. If Domination was like this, that'd be awesome. I really, really, really sincerely hope that they bring this game mode into Modern Warfare 3 as a DLC or even Black Ops 2, because this is my overall favorite ever Call of Duty game type. Just the ability to be able to be a Slayer as well as capture the flag and having a purpose on the team means that I can do what I want to do with basically any type of weapon and be successful. Now, I'm using the frags and the signal flares in this game because I feel like the signal flares are kind of like the flashbangs in Call of Duty 4, and they can incapacitate a large group of enemies with one, and they have a really good lasting radius, and you can also use them as smoke grenades. So I feel like they're a little bit better than the Tauben gas, but the Tauben gas is also very useful. I mean, you can throw it down at a group of enemies and they're completely incapacitated. They can hardly shoot, but they can still see you, so they might be lucky enough to pull off a knife lunge or something. So it all comes down to personal preference there, but the frags are probably the best grenade in the game. I mean, you got the Molotov cocktails and the N71 and 74 ST, which are mainly used for taking out tanks. They're not very useful against personnel because they're just really weak compared to the frags, and the frags are probably the better option in this game overall. This was the first game that actually added multiple grenade types for your primary grenades. I mean, Call of Duty 4 and all previous games just had the steel hand grenade and the frag grenade. So this game actually revolutionized quite a bit more than what people actually remember it for. I mean, it added the ability to have this game mode right here, which was unfortunately never made it back into Black Ops. So I think if it had made it into Black Ops, it would have made that game last a lot longer, because there's so many different ways to play War. I mean, you can play it rushing around like I am here, you can play it defensive and just protect the flags, or you can just play as an offensive guy and just cap all the flags and hope your teammates will protect you. One thing that's really important about World of War that I really liked about this game is how important the pistols were. If you were a good person with your pistol, then you could be very, very effective in this game. And that you don't see that in the Call of Duties anymore. In most situations, people just use the secondary machine pistols or whatnot because they're the most effective. And in this game, the pistols were some of the most effective weapons in the entire game. Considering the fact that you could have a 2-hit kill pistol up close with stopping power, and the fact that you could fire it almost as fast as you could pull the trigger, it made the pistols a very, very versatile weapon in this game, especially considering the fact that most of your primary weapons had a 10-round or 20-round capacity. You switch your pistol and you can pick up good 3 or 4 kills on the clip. Unfortunately, this game does go into overtime. We captured this flag, but we are not able to push the final flag. But even when you are losing by this much, they have a chance to come back in overtime, and they almost win in overtime because my teammates, like I said, are not the best of the game, and unfortunately here, I thought that I could kill this guy and get a kill streak for next round, which unfortunately I guess you can't. It didn't seem to work for me, but that's one thing I hope they would fix if they bring this back in Black Ops 2 is have kill streaks carry over. You know, so play very conservative at the start of the next round, thinking that I'm on a kill streak and I can get dogs for my team and help us win the game even faster. But when you're going to an overtime, you basically have one of two options. You can either go in there and you can try to kill the people who are rushing the flag with you, or you can jump on the flag and try and capture it that way. Generally speaking, I like to throw a grenade by the flag, and then I like to run around and try and kill the people, simply because I feel that gives my team the best advantage, especially if the enemy team has a respawn penalty. It can literally destroy an entire team because the respawn penalty is like 5 or 6 seconds in this mode, and that's critical. I mean, if the other team has a respawn penalty and you don't, then you can basically overwhelm them just simply by killing them off their spawn, and they'll just be incapacitated the rest of the game and let your teammates capture the flag. Now, I do actually end up being a part of the final flag cap here because it's generally in War, you want to just get the game over as fast as you can. You don't want to give a team the chance to get back, unless you're in a full party and you know you can spawn trap them at their final flag, which I'm not here, I'm playing solo. And then you really just want to stay and wait for them to come to you and just finish the game as soon as possible, because if you have them push just a little bit and they cap their one base flag and you can't keep them trapped there, they get blitzkrieg automatically, which means they can capture flags 3 times faster when they have blitzkrieg, and it just ends up to the point where you can kill a person over and over again. But if they have a chance to capture their final flag, they have full momentum against you and you have none, and that next flag is going to be a pain in the butt to capture. Now, when you're capturing the B flag, or the middle flag in war. Generally speaking, there's a couple of sneaky capture points. In this map, they're right here behind these pillars. Not exactly sneaky as they are useful, but this gameplay is winding down. It ends up being something like a 42 and 14 using a Type 100 submachine gun. This is definitely my favorite submachine gun in the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Angry Beast, and I am signing out.